Chrisley details abuse he says other inmates are reporting to him, including sexual assaults inside the prison.
Made him put his hands on the desk and spread his legs. And he reached up his legs like he was patting him down and grabbed his private area. And he said, "What do we have here? Is this a weapon?" And he said, "That's my..." And he said that when he said that, grabbed him by his hips and started dry humping him from behind. And I'm sitting here right now with multiple signed affidavits by inmates that will talk about the inappropriateness of what's going on here.
And I have obtained many of those signed affidavits right here. I've been going through them. One inmate says a guard, quote, was using the rebar metal hook to pull the milk crates around while I was facing the grill. He hit me between the legs, striking my testicles. I winced in pain when I turned around to tell him that it hurt. There's another inmate in his late 60s who wrote in a statement that when leaving the dining hall, he was stopped by a female prison official who personally frisked me down, including groping my groin area, looking for illegal contraband. I understand that I must be searched by a male unless it is an emergency situation. I don't think bringing an apple out of the dining hall constitutes an emergency. But Chrisley also told me that after he encouraged inmates to start putting their experiences in writing, suddenly, he says, the printer that they were using to print all of these things out and give them to him no longer worked.
All of these men here, I said, unless you put it in writing, it doesn't happen. The system is broken, and unless you hold these people accountable, nothing will change. These men started putting in cop-outs, DP8s, DP9s. Well, then all of a sudden, when they started doing that, the copier and the printer in the library that the men have to use, it was shut down. So they couldn't make the copies to put the cop-outs in. They shut the printer down and claimed that it was out of ink. Now, I've got this in writing because I wrote it up and sent it to them in an email, and they came back, we're out of cartridges. This is a federal facility. If all of these other machines are running in all these other offices, how does that one copier that the inmates use not have a cartridge?
All right, I want to bring in NewsNation legal analyst Sara Azari. I mean, clearly this prison, he's a real thorn in their side. At this point. What do you make, though, of the, I mean, they punished him very quickly today.
And you were busted. Your name was all over that thing.
I was in that report. I know. I was like, oh, man.
Right. So, look, most of my clients are white-collar offenders, and I've had them in the BOP in these camps. I have clients there now. I'm not surprised. You know, this is the most barbaric and revolting institution to me. I got 7 or 8 people out during COVID because of the conditions in these prisons. And he is the bane of their existence. This institution is about opacity, not transparency. And Todd Chrisley has, you know, gathered up all these inmates with legitimate complaints to expose this prison camp and others, frankly, in the BOP. So they want him out of there, and I'm not surprised that magically the printer broke. But here's the thing with the printer. You know, there are grievances he's complaining about, the mold, the expired food, etc. Those are absolutely unacceptable and have to be remedied. But the printer, you know, there's an alternative. It's a number 2 pencil and lined paper. And I have, in, you know, almost 20 years of practice, I've never received a nicely printed, typed up correspondence from an inmate in federal prison. It's always a number 2 pencil on paper. So, you know, they have to give him that option to do it, you know, manually. But, you know, the thing to do here is for that, there's a power in numbers. So he needs to go up the chain within the BOP system, file the grievance, go through the appellate process within the system, and then turn it over to the courts. He can't just go directly to sue the BOP for injunctive relief. But I think he's on that track. I mean, I think that, you know, not everyone has the platform that he does or the daughter that he does.
Right. Well, I tried to go in and interview him and do a sit-down interview and go through the Bureau of Prisons and have it all arranged, and they flat out said no.
And I have a problem with that. And I have a problem with that because, look, that is an absolute violation of the First Amendment for us. We and the press and the media.
Is he allowed
public,
to talk, though?
That is a prison policy that says you're not supposed to speak to the press. It's not the law. And I think that policy needs to be challenged. I think it's unconstitutional because you and I and members of the public, we have a right to know what goes on in these prisons. And it's a violation.
Yeah, and for everybody, like, I got some heat. Like, you know, we don't care about Todd Chrisley. He's a criminal. Like, this isn't really about Todd Chrisley. Notice we don't ever talk about really even his crimes or what he's accused of. It's about the conditions. It's about our taxpayer money paying for these prisons. It's about why won't they let us in? I mean, this is the government, and we have to go. But go ahead,
just real quick, the sexual assault that he's complaining about, these allegations are true. They have to be reported to the FBI. We have no time for crime. This is not just a regular.
Well, we'll stay on it. Thank you, Sara. Okay.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.